Are those from yesterday?
Everyone's talking this morning, but I guess it's active, but was it live maybe? I'm sorry about that. Well, we're live.
What does that mean? I see. The back end stuff, I am blissfully ignorant when it comes to that stuff.
When the video is scheduled, Drew, you can when the video is scheduled, you can still comment and talk to everybody.
Oh, okay.
But I guess it wasn't.
You didn't hit the button.
I guess it's on me.
User error.
That's on me. Big L for Armen. You guys, well, it still exists, obviously. You can go back and listen to the podcast if you want. But that was a banger of first segment by you, Drew.
Yeah. And it's not recorded? No, it will be.
Yeah, I mean, the audio is.
The audio is, but not the video.
Yeah. Well, we didn't do anything crazy video-wise. I mean, I didn't take my shirt off or anything, so you didn't miss anything wild in that first segment. Well, thank you, Jeffrey. I guess that is an L for Armen. Billy's laughing at me somewhere in the airport right now.
Yeah, well, Billy's not listening to us. Billy's on his way to Vegas.
Yeah, but his flight's in an hour, so he might be listening. Can you believe that the desert might actually be as it's as hot here or as it is in Las Vegas today, at least? Because I think the 96 is the high there. So it's a similar temperature as it is in Milwaukee. Yes, Dreamy, I'm taking the L. Sorry, everybody.
Yeah.
All right. I should have been better there. I was so locked into that convo.
Well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, we were talking about the I-Course thing. We were talking about people's snap judgments. You know, it's the culture we're in, the soup we're in, and maybe it's because maybe it was always like this, but I equate this to, this is going to be a Dan Needles type stretch, so buckle up. It's like when the show Hoarders came on, and that creeps me out, right? The show Hoarders, when people pass away.
Just a crazy
like they have
show.
Just mazes. Their house was a maze of old newspapers and food cartons, and just like, it's so creepy and so off-putting. But until that show, not everybody knew that existed, but it always did. There were people who were like, oh, we got to go clean out Uncle Fred's place.
But you just didn't see it visually.
You didn't see it.
You didn't see those dark areas of society that you once thought existed.
But it's always been happening. Well, now people have always had kind of dumb opinions, but now that everybody's got like a platform and social media, we have to sift through them all. Whereas, people used to say stuff at the corner tavern and only the 15 people there heard it. Now more people see it, and the idiots have a voice too. And sometimes the idiots' voices are louder than the sane people, right? And you have to decide who's sane and who's an idiot. And it's hard to sift through. Again, it's just it's above my pay grade sociologically and where we are as a culture.
I think it's also in our face more because of the pervasiveness of social media.
No question.
Multiple media.
Of course.
That's the whole point. But
yeah, that's the point. And it's like, that's it.
It's like, are things really worse than they were 30 years ago or 40 years ago or 50 years ago? Crazy things always happen in this world, but they're in front of us now.
It's funny because I just, just this morning when I woke up, I flipped that there was an essay that I saw on social media, some guy talking about decrying how baseball sucks and they need to get back to how it was 30 years ago. That column's been written every summer since the 1900s.
How it used to be. Well, what specifically?
I mean, yeah, because it's like, oh, they're only worried about home runs and they've lost the ability to run bases and steal bases and play the right way. And like, have you watched the Brewers? I mean, I don't know what team the guy's watching, but have you watched the Brewers, like the way they win and the things they do? It's like that is kind of their whole vibe.
No, you're right. It's a refrain that gets repeated every generation.
Yeah, and like the baseball is losing its fans, losing young fans. That they've been writing those since the 40s. It just again, I just the longer you're in this, the longer the more it's just like you just want to take a pass on everything. And I went off on a rant about people already dismissing as a failure the UW's decision to hire Sean I-Course. You don't know that. Like, did he have some missteps? Sure. Did he have a bad? And football is everything. I get it. There's no margin for error with football and big programs. You screw up football, you've screwed up. You get fired at Nebraska. Yeah, that was like almost 10 years ago. But during his time at Nebraska, the important things behind the scenes that keep things humming, he raised money and got a basketball arena built. That's just really nice, right? And those are the things.
Those are the things.
Like Mark Murphy won a title and that's forever great, but he also developed the Titletown district, which may be more important to the overall health of the franchise than the trophy that's in the case. As stupid as that sounds, right?
And you don't realize those things until later on sometimes,
exactly.
But they are absolutely as important.
Exactly. So again, like the urge to dismiss this as stupid, like you don't know. It might not work, but it might. But to go into it and to dismiss it already and to shut it off and say this was dumb, they should have hired any number of other guys. The flip side of that coin, other than, as you mentioned, the Leonard apologists and loyalists, everybody was excited when Luke Fickell got hired. It has not worked out. It hasn't been successful. Could he still be successful? Is it a flickering chance? It starts with Notre Dame at Lambeau Field. We'll talk about that more. But the Brewers won. People should be happier. We're heading towards a holiday. We have this show, tomorrow's show, and then we're off on Friday. Billy's headed to the desert. We're for the most part, we can do our state of the state, sports thing and talk about it. The Bucks are in a rebuild. The Giannis era is over. The LeBron era is over in Los Angeles. He's moved on. The only constant in sports and life is change, right? And so
LeBron,
you can be looking good at one moment and suck the next.
And I feel like with the LeBron thing, quickly, we'll get to stuff like that, but this is everybody's last chance that enjoyed that generation, the LeBron generation that spanned 2 decades now. This is your last chance for any sort of LeBron drama. This is your last decision. This is your last chance to live that life.
Does he go to Cleveland? Does he go to Golden State? Does he go to Miami?
Because I feel this generation of new American stars, except for Jalen Brunson, has pretty much disappointed everybody. Zion and Ja. That's why I think everybody still wants to hang on to the LeBron, Durant, Harden, like all these old heads that became now like these adults that everyone grew up with was their generation. So they still wanted to believe that's the storyline. Like, will LeBron go to Golden State? Like, does it really matter if all the old heads go together? But people will still want to talk about it. So that's my theory on that too, Drew. But yeah, the story there yesterday was LeBron will not be back in LA, but will keep playing. So where will he go next? This is the decision part, 4?
Part 4. Yeah. So Hot Take Hump Day will fire up at 6 a.m. When we come back, we will hear Hunter Baumgart's recap of the Brewers' victory last night over the Redlegs. They've been dominating the Reds. It's impressive. We'll talk about that as we move forward as well. You are in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. We are huddled up on a Wednesday in the good land. Drew Olson, Armen, and Billy's on vacation, headed to the city in the desert that he loves so much.
Yeah, he's trying to get a break from the heat.
Yep, going to Vegas where it's going to be cooler.
He's missing the super hot this weekend. I think it's going to be like 110 there, but right now it's like more temperate 96.
Yeah, well, so there's probably a pool in his future and some air conditioned casino action.
Oh yes,
he'll be availing himself of, and probably headed to the Great Circus Sportsbook to watch some Brewers action. I'm sure it's gonna be fun. Good for him.
And World Cup action tonight. A lot. Highly anticipated match for the USA in the knockout stage. Drew, that's continuing to roll on. Some exciting stuff.
They got a chance to write a hell of a story.
They really do. I mean, I think that's, I think that's the excitement of this. It's not just like, all right, we eked into the knockout stage. Everyone's like, oh, this team's decent. They can really make a run here.
That's a split screen opportunity because that game starts 20 minutes after the Brewers' first pitch.
Yeah, perfect. If you have the double TV set up.
So that'll be good.
Yeah.
That'll be good. This portion of the program brought to you by Game Day Men's Health. I visit them every Monday. I encourage folks to go try them out. Give it a little look-see. Get that consult, that initial consult you can sign up for. You don't even have to talk to anybody, which is great these days, right? You set the appointment online. Find a clinic near you, set the appointment, go in, and you'll be blown away at how nice they are, how welcoming. It's a great vibe. A little bit like a sports clips in there. It's guy-friendly because it's Game Day Men's Health. And they can help you with a variety of issues. Find out what they can do for you. Go to GameDayMen'sHealth.com, sign up for that consult, and get it started. And let us know what your results are. We'd love to know. All right, 877-794-1973 to the NicoletLaw.com talking text. I mentioned the Brewers won yesterday. Our buddy Hunter Baumgart covers the Brewers for us on the daily. He is boots on the ground. And let's hear his recap from last night's victory. Take it away, Hunter.
Thanks, guys. The Brewers get a win over the Cincinnati Reds last night, 7-2. 4 runs in that fourth inning for the crew. Sal Frelick was right in the middle of it. Drove in a run in that inning. He was 3 for 4 with a double last night. He hit .348 in June. He really likes how the offense has played the last couple of games.
I think it's been a good past 2 days for us. I think maybe the past week, the offense wasn't clicking like we usually do. I think it's a big testament to us, too, though, that when it wasn't clicking, we were able to figure out how to win games, which I think is just as important because you're not always going to be clicking. But it was just good to kind of get back to our roots. Had a little meeting and just discussed what makes us great. And it was great to go out the last 2 days and kind of put that out there.
And on the mound, Brandon Sproat, 5 1/3, 2 earned runs allowed. He really likes pitching when the offense is doing what it did and the defense behind him is playing like it does.
Yeah, no, that was awesome. I mean, that's our offense for you. They battle and battle and battle, good AB after good AB, and just produce runs. I mean, it's fun to pitch, when I've got, that offense and that defense behind me, so.
And Sproat really put together a nice June himself. So the Brewers will go for the series win coming up tonight. Shane Drowan on the mound for the crew. 7:10 first pitch, nationally televised on ESPN. And also, just a reminder, my pregame show, the baseball pregame show on Fox Sports 920 in Milwaukee will be 5:30 until 6:30 because we've got World Cup coverage. USA playing in the World Cup tonight. 6:30 pregame, 7 o'clock kickoff for that game. So I'll be on from 5:30 until 6:30. This report brought to you by Import Minded, your trusted choice for exceptional vehicle care on South 27th, just north of 894. And as I said yesterday, stay cool, and back to you guys.
Stay cool. I love that.
I love that. He gave you, and for those of you who didn't see, which you should be, because now you can see the video. He gave you a little punch forward with the "stay cool." So you got
stay cool.
I love when he adds that verve. I love when Hunter does that a little bit. But good point by Hunter. We do have that World Cup game tonight, and Drew, like you mentioned, split screen opportunity tonight. But Drowan, he pointed out Drowan's June. Sproat's June. It's been fantastic. He's done the job.
Sproat and Drowan are. I don't know. They shouldn't be hard, but you can mix those guys up.
They're the same guy sometimes. It feels like, right? It's like
Brandon
the same
Sproat, Shane Drowan.
We're spitting them out of the machine. So
yeah, something else.
Oh, good stuff.
We're looking for your hot takes. 877-794-1973 gets you to the NicoletLaw.com talk and text line. Hot takes are welcome. We'll traffic in those very soon. We had some dust-ups last night. Wilson Contreras.
Wilson again getting involved. This is his second time in 2 games he's gotten tossed.
Yeah, that was pretty wild. And then you had a World Cup action, Mexico getting through, which is pretty good.
And they played that one in Mexico, I want to say. Is that correct?
I think so, yeah. They beat That's the first time they've won a knockout round game in quite a while.
Since 86, so 40 years.
40 years. They took down Ecuador, and they've moved on.
86 was the Diego Maradona Hand of God Argentina World Cup.
Yeah.
But that was the first time they moved or they won a world knockout stage game. So absolute excitement for Mexico, for a lot of fans. Last night, Norway got the win. Holland saved them late, and they did that rowboat thing. I don't know if you've seen that, Drew, when all the fans row the boat.
Yes.
It's just absolutely
it's
fun
amazing.
to watch. Really cool. This is what makes this thing fun. France dominated. Mbappe had another goal, and he's been just setting records, and he's at the top of his game right now. So fun to see. You're going to see some. Obviously, the USA is the headliner tonight, but I believe England will be playing tonight. So other favorites involved. It's just going to be a lot of fun this week. England playing Congo, Belgium, Senegal as well tonight to round it out. And then USA and Bosnia-Herzegovina is the headliner tonight. So
you can hear the World Cup action right here on 920 Milwaukee and 1070 in Madison.
This has truly been
We're your home for the World Cup.
This has been a great tournament, Drew. The action on the field's been good. Stars. You have storylines off the field. Fans have enjoyed it. It's really
the guy from Germany was his own vibe.
Yeah, I mean the fans have been their own storyline throughout. I think USA has done a great job hosting, showing what we can do for these large scale events, and our home team's playing really well. Obviously, we hope that continues. You're seeing a lot of stars. Obviously, Mbappe, Messi, Ronaldo, Holland, all these guys.
If the U.S. is to get through, and if they beat Bosnia tonight, which I think they're favored,
they're a pretty good favorite against Bosnia, yeah.
And then you're looking at the winner of Belgium, Senegal, and then it gets real because you're in a bracket with Spain and France.
Then the big dogs,
it's like the big dogs.
The big dogs, yeah.
But for me, the U.S. is one victory away from kind of house money territory.
I would agree. If they get to the round of like 16, round of 8, yeah.
If you get to the round of 8, that's pretty damn good. You get that the hometown bounce, being in your home country and being,
Oh yeah, absolutely right. Looking at it, because if they beat Bosnia Herzegovina, they'd be playing the winner of Belgium Senegal. Belgium's the favorite there, but both teams, both world powers. Senegal's been good. So listen, at this stage of World Cup action, it'd be a tough test no matter who you play. But it could write a story here, Drew, and that's the exciting part.
That's the exciting part. Yeah, we're going to be writing stories all day. 877-794-1973. Hot takes. We will talk about the Sean Eichhorst apparent hire and folks' reaction to it. I think the reaction's more interesting than the hire to me. It's like, they check the box. They got a guy who not only has state roots, but has a track record and experience and a law degree and some bona fides that would say, okay, that makes sense. Was it sexy? Nah, maybe not. But who would have been? Right?
That's a good question. Was there a name out there that you would have said, wow, that's the guy? Like, aside from like, I don't know, Ward Manuel or some big name from a big college.
Did anybody turn cartwheels when Donna Shalala was hired at Wisconsin?
That's a great point. Although I saw someone bring her name up on the text line. So we'll get to that for the hot takes going forward.
Plenty of hot takes as we are rolling forward. Dobie Maxwell's scheduled to appear. I think he's going to drop on in. I told him he didn't have to be here at the crack of 5 because he has a ritual where he gets his steps in.
He has to get those steps in, and I don't expect him to be, like you said here, Drew, right for the opening of the marathon, but excited for Mr. Lucky Dobie to come in.
Yeah.
Always like to.
If he comes in, he comes in. If he doesn't, maybe we'll see him tomorrow. We'll find out.
Like to spin through his book, Monkey in the Middle, every couple of years. It is so good. It should get it. It deserves a wider audience. Let's
Absolutely.
Put it that way.
Absolutely. All right. Hot takes. Get them. We're going to traffic in them. There's plenty of fertile territory. We'll see you on the other side. You are in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
I'm Doug Russell. We start at AmFam where the Brewers beat goes on.
Line to left. This one has eyes down. 1 run scores. The Brewers have the lead.
Brewers TV with the call. Milwaukee defeats Cincinnati 7-2 in Game 2 of their 4-game series. Brandon Sproat gave up an early lead, but then he was staked to 4 runs in the 4th. That was all he needed. Game 3 is tonight. Shane Drowan pitches against Andrew Abbott. It gets underway at 7:10. According to ESPN, the University of Wisconsin is targeting former Miami and Nebraska athletic director Sean Eichhorst to be their new AD. Eichhorst has spent time in Madison previously under Barry Alvarez. The U.S. men's soccer team tries to get into the round of 16 tonight. Standing in their way is Bosnia and Herzegovina. Kickoff is at 7 from San Francisco Stadium. Yesterday and last night, Norway, France, and Mexico all advanced. Hour 2 of the Huddle starts now. I'm Doug Russell on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love.
Everybody wake up! Everybody wake
with the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you, you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with the number of cameras. Take the cameras off the field, and there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on 1. Ready, Diller, for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200, yeah. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red, right, 18, Bob on 1. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We got exactly what we got to do. All right? That's all the ball got to do. Let's go out and kick the tail. All right? Hey, yo. 1, 2, 3.
Keep doing what you're doing. Sit out now, and make the play. Be right, all the way outside. Wide, left, fake, 396 bag, B hand, C puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid.
Oh, my God. This man's been out all night.
And Armen Sarian.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Sanchez, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
Dominating a Wednesday in the good land. The Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. 5 o'clock clubbers, welcome back. 6 a.m. clubbers, welcome. Drew Olson along with Armen Sarian. Billy's off this week. He is winging his way. Wheels up in about a half hour to go to Las Vegas.
How awesome is
for
that?
a little R&R on his week off. Good for him.
Well deserved.
I made the comment as we fired up on Monday without Billy. Is like, I don't know if it's much of a vacation when you got 2 kids under 3.
Yeah,
you're home and it's like
it's a handful. It's a handful.
It's a handful. But now he and Allie are getting away, so it's awesome.
Awesome. Love to see it. Take advantage when you can, even if it's a short time. Drew, enjoy every sandwich.
And the grandkids, the grandparents are going to be happy. And as a kid, what's better than hanging out with your grandparents?
Oh,
it's
man,
fantastic.
It's summertime. We're gonna have an exciting time.
No doubt.
Brewer games for young Carson. He's happy. I know
he's
that.
Happy.
So I love that.
He's happy. Speaking of the Brewers, they beat the Reds last evening. It was a 7-2 victory. As predicted here, they were going to put up a touchdown.
Well done, Drew, on that prediction. It turned out to be right. Yeah. They put up a crooked number with the benefit of a little bit of fortune in terms of the batting average on balls in play category of the tertiary analytics you might enjoy if you're a stat nerd data head. They got a lot of soft hit singles in that 4th inning, but hey, baseball is a way of doing this, evening it out, because the Brewers have hit into some really bad luck lately, in my opinion. Some hard hit balls were out, so they were due for a few breaks, a few duck farts, and they got some.
Brandon Sproat pitched well. Little stat nuggets for you. Here's one from our own David Gasper.
Well, I love that. What's up, Dave?
Brewers have a 20-16 record in games when the opponents score first.
Now that's a sign of a good team, isn't it, Drew?
I think so.
When you have a winning record, when you are trailing in a game, that's a sign of a good team.
They are the only team in baseball with a winning record.
It's pretty impressive.
When the opponent scores first. Scoring the first run in baseball, it's a long game and stuff. It might not seem like a big deal, but it is a harbinger of success. You score first, you often win the game, more often than not, and yet the Brewers are beating the odds there.
Does that also mean, Drew, is that a worrisome trend, though? I guess it's not. I mean, I'm not sure that would continue. How often can that happen? Keeping a record like that when you're trailing in a game, although I honestly haven't looked much to see if there are teams beating that outlier every year. Yeah. If the Brewers are one of those teams, that's great.
Brewers are 5-0 against the Reds this season. They finished the month of June with a 17-10 record. Again, put up months like that, you're in good shape.
Well, I guess it's a reminder that we can't really expect a pace like this to necessarily continue, right? 52-31 is the record.
Yep.
So 52 wins. So, you're basically on 101 win pace. I don't do the math, but it's pretty impressive right now what they're doing. And just like last year when they went on their crazy run, you have to be realistic and say, all right, well, this pace probably won't continue throughout the whole season unless they do and they have the first 100-win season in Brewers history, I suppose. But you have to be realistic about it, right? And say, okay, there might be hiccups here and there. There might be some tough stretches.
There's absolutely going to be hiccups right now.
You're just not going to they're on pace for 101.5 wins. So you're not just going to freak out if there isn't one. But that harkens back to what you were saying in the first segment. It's like that everything will not and cannot be perfect all the time. So to nitpick and say, well, Yelich is scuffling right now, it's kind of counterproductive.
Sal Frelick was scuffling for much of the season, and we were pointing it out. Like, he was kind of flying under the radar, and people were focused on the left side of the infield, and right field, when he was holding it down, was a sinkhole. He hit 350 in the month of June, I think. He's coming around. Had 3 hits last night for the first time in a year.
Yeah.
Again, regression, perhaps. Like, it's like you just figured he was going to, but they stuck with him, and now the ugliness is it's focused on Yelich because he's struggling really bad, and he's the leadoff hitter. It's like, well, we won, but Yelich was 0-4. They got to get him out of the leadoff spot. Sure. Do they?
Well, and Yelich was going to be good at some point too.
Of course.
So that's the thing. Why make the change? And you're winning games.
Yeah. It was it was a Brewers game too. The bottom of the fourth, it was just like single.
Yeah.
Bunt, walk, single. Like, that's a small market rally, right?
Small market rally, and the Brewers have specialized in that now for a few years, to the point where it's like, all right, that's what we do, and you got to love it. Absolutely.
There was a time when the Brewers couldn't lose to the Pirates, and then it kind of flipped where they struggled against the Pirates, but there was a couple of years where the Brewers just absolutely dominated the Pirates. And now the Reds are in that boat. Brewers are 5-0 against the Reds this season. In their last 69 games, dating back to the start of the 2021 season, the Brewers are 50-19 against Cincinnati.
That's dominance you love to see.
That is absolute.
Yeah.
Open a can of whoop ass.
Well, it almost makes you wish we had the old divisional schedule where you could see them more. But I mean,
the Brewers, what would the Brewers' record be if they did that? But then again, you'd be sacrificing games against the American League, which sucks right now.
Terrible. And in a lot of ways, this is going to help some American League team in a couple months that's been hovering around 500 and has one good week that could get into a wild card at 83, 84 wins. Like, you're going to probably see that in the American League. So it is funny how that's worked and how the increased interleague play games have swung the balance of wins and losses in the American League to the National League. When previously it was basically a fixed sum thing, a zero-sum thing. The same amount of wins and losses in each league, but not anymore. So pretty interesting. Dan in West Bend, Murph needs to tell Sal he's only allowed to hit the baseball to the opposite field from now on. It does definitely seem like we're seeing the Sal Frelick that is more like the Sal Frelick that we've come to accustomed to. You wouldn't say punch and Judy hitter, but he's slapping it opposite field, Drew, a lot now. He's waiting back. He's not on his keister and his knees every time he swings. This is the Sal Frelick we've come accustomed to seeing. He's been better. 9 of his last 18.
That's pretty good. Pretty good.
Pretty good.
All right, 877-794-1973. We're going to fire up the hot take hump day machine momentarily, but first, Hunter Baumgart has an exclusive interview for us.
And a baby Hunter.
With Brewers starting pitcher Shane Drone, who's pitching today as the Brewers try to win the series. Like I said, it seems like most 4-game series, they often end in splits. Hard to win a 4-game series. Take 3 out of 4.
But it's good if you win the first 2. That's a good recipe.
40% of them end up in draws. But in this case, however, the Brewers have an opportunity. So let's take a listen to Hunter Baumgart's interview with Brewers starting pitcher today, Shane Drone.
Shane, first question for you. 5 starts here in June. Just how has the routine gotten a little bit more normal rather than coming out of the pen here over the last month? How do you feel now compared to when you did to start June?
I feel good. Yeah, definitely a lot more structure to it. You really just have, the 4 or 5 or 6 days in between each start mapped out, as opposed to in the pen where it's kind of just like, whenever they call down. Yeah, it's been good.
When you came into this and you're obviously you're ready to be a starter, you're in that relief role. How does the mentality change when you're like, okay, now I've got a couple starts under my belt. Now do you have to kind of think of yourself as a starter then, or how does your mentality go with that?
Not as much as I might have originally expected. I think especially for what my role was kind of in the bullpen, where it was more of that longer relief. It was, pretty similar to starting. Yeah, I honestly just tried to really just keep the same mindset. I felt like I was throwing really well out of the pen, attacking the lineups really well. So I kind of just wanted to carry that into a starter role and just throw more. That's pretty much how I looked at it. It was like, I'm just going to throw more.
How have you felt that attacking like you did in the bullpen has went as a starter so far?
Okay. I think it could be better. I think there's some areas where, I could do better. I feel like, putting guys away, I haven't been as good the past, couple outings. I feel like that's more of kind of just like a mentality thing as opposed to like stuff. When you're starting, the opposing lineup really does have, kind of like hours to prepare for you and your stuff. So I feel like I might have just been pressing a little too much with 2 strikes. We're trying to be a little too perfect with pitches, and you look up and then it's 2-2 or 3-2. So kind of just getting back to just like throw your best pitch in the moment.
Because the opposing lineup has, like you said, more time to prepare for you, does that change your preparation at all, or has that kind of stayed the same as far as how you prepare?
It's kind of stayed the same, I would say. I sat in the meetings that we'd have with the bullpen at the beginning of each series, and then, now starting where you have your meeting before your outing, relatively the same. You can't really think about changing too much. It's still the same game. But yeah, it's same kind of meetings. Attack these guys in, throw it down in the dirt with 2 strikes, elevate with 2 strikes, kind of the same deal. It's just it's more about just like controlling the game a lot more, I think, as a starter versus a reliever. Obviously I paid attention to like the running game and stuff of opposing teams, but I feel like as a starter that matters much more when you're trying to get deep into games and stuff. You got a guy on first, you really do not want him to go to second. You don't want to give up a bag and kind of get lazy and they swipe a bag and then you're out of a double play and then you kind of get a bloop hit and that's a run. So it's just like those little things that kind of add up just to help the team win.
Halfway through the season, how has your relationship with your catchers, Contreras and Sanchez, grown from the beginning of the year till now?
Great. I feel like, when I first came in, they didn't really know me. I felt like they've done an amazing job of kind of just really helping me throughout the outings and then just like learning, on the fly with me. I'm, a little bit more quiet than most guys. So I feel like William and Gary have done a good job of like kind of like learning how I like to pitch and then just sequencing stuff and getting us through the outings.
Yeah, how much has that kind of a team atmosphere between you and the catcher every time out? A lot of people, I'm sure, think of starting pitcher as you're going out and you're throwing, but I'm sure it's a lot of that teamwork between you two is so crucial to each start.
Yeah, absolutely. The communication there is huge. I think, just as the season progressed too, like there's things that pop up, like, some days a certain pitch I might not be feeling that well with, but it's looking good, from William or Gary's perspective. So it's also just trusting them. I really like to trust my catchers and trust their eyes and like what they're seeing. So there's times where, there was days where I wasn't, really maybe feeling my curveball out that well, but they were like, no, it looks good. We got to throw it. So it's just things like that.
Absolutely. Shane, really appreciate the time. Thanks so much.
No problem. Anytime.
Our Hunter Baumgart with Brewers lefty Shane Drowan starting tonight against the Reds. I bet the Red Sox would like to have that kid back.
Oh gosh, yeah. I would imagine him plus some others.
He enters tonight with 3-2 record, 3.12 ERA. This will be his 7th start and
really
17th overall appearance.
Been consistent, done really well. Kind of one of the guys you forget about because of the excitement of some of the other guys in the staff, but he's been awesome. He's a very soft-spoken guy, but still waters run deep there, I think. Some really insightful stuff about his relationship with the catchers, how they've learned to sequence him, things like that. That's the nuances of the game that a lot of people don't think about, Drew. Like, how's the guy throwing today? Is he getting enough strikeouts? But how their relationship is with the catcher, how they're set up well for success by the organization, by the team, by the coaches, by the catchers, by the program, right? Is I think something we forget about as fans sometimes, but good insightful stuff there.
All right, talking text lines open for you. 877-794-1973. Hot Take Hump Day headquarters is the NicoletLaw.com talking text line. So get us your hot takes. Steve hit us up earlier and said it was really nice not having to sweat through that game last night, at least not worrying about it. They did a great, a little worried about Sproat, but he came around and got a good chunk of that game. Nice offensive last night. Nice offense last night for the Brewers. Go Brewers.
Nice not have a close one, although you definitely sweated through it if you're out there last night. Woof.
For sure.
But yeah, I get his point. Pretty ironic though that he would say it like that. But it was nice to get it as you predicted, Drew, the crooked number, and to get the win comfortably as well. We've got a hot take from 715. You want to hear it, Drew?
Yes.
Actually, I feel that we're talking about the UW hiring or
reported
hiring of
Sean Eichhorst.
Sean Eichhorst, the new AD. And you talked about how they don't have a chancellor yet. He says, I feel that UW is doing the hiring ass backward. It should be the president, the chancellor, and then the AD. Like when Wiley, Ward, and Shalala were there with Barry. So they can form a mission statement for both education and athletics. They work cohesively together and took the UW from sucking to a top-tier school. Okay, in ideal terms, yes, maybe that would be it. But Drew has what hasn't changed in college athletics for the 35 years since those three were involved? Yes, I mean the shared vision, education, athletics. It's very idealistic, but this is not that era, isn't it?
It's a whole new landscape over there. It's a whole new dealio. Yeah, it is. It's not the same universe.
Not
as
the same
what
universe.
It was.
Yeah.
And
you know the point there is well taken about hiring a chancellor and hiring assistant president, but you also don't want to get too far behind hiring an AD because you have to have someone leading the program, and you don't want to fall too far behind in the fundraising with all the things going on at such a crucial time at UW athletics.
Yep.
You don't want to fall behind with that. So.
Yep. And again, you can pan the hire if you want, but can you just let it breathe and let it actually develop a little bit? I think that'd be good. So get us your hot takes, 877-794-1973. Our pal Dobie Maxwell's joined the party. Did you get your walk-in already?
I got my walk-in, got up at 3 a.m. knowing I was going to be on the show.
God, 3 a.m.
3 a.m., 10,000 steps.
It's an hour before we get up.
It's amazing work, especially in this heat, unless you did it indoors, which would have been a smart move.
No, I did it outdoors with the swamp.
I
don't want to
swamp booty. Yeah,
swamp booty. You didn't go to your 24-hour store and just walk around at Meijer or Woodman's?
Usually I do that kind of thing, but today I knew I was going to. So I took my annual shower. I'm scrubbed.
He's ready to rock.
Cocked, ready to rock.
Ready to go on Hot Take Hump Day. Well, that's amazing. Well, we welcome Dobie Maxwell. Always good to see you.
Always good to be here.
We just heard, you probably listened on the way up, we heard Hunter's interview with Shane Drowan, his Brewers Report. It's all brought to us by Import Minded, your trusted source for vehicle care, 27th Street, just north of 894. All right, Hot Take Hump Day. Hot takes can be about sports. They can be about food. They can be about fireworks on 4th of July. They can be about music, art, culture, anything. We're not limiting anything. And here's a hot take for you. Dave Roberts, manager of the Dodgers, they're expected to win. They're like U.S. Steel.
They're expected to win 110
He's
games.
a damn good manager.
Yeah.
And he's going into the Hall of Fame as a manager. He won his 1,000th game last night, the fastest manager to get to 1,000 victories in history. And you can say, well, of course, anybody can manage that talent, that roster. All you got to do is show up. It ain't that easy. Dave Roberts is underregarded. He's got he was a manager of the year once in 2016. He's won 3 World Series championships with the Dodgers. and now he's got 1,000 wins. He's going in the Hall of Fame like already. He could retire today and be in the Hall of Fame based on what he's done.
And he's been in more World Series too. And it's like,
as a player, he was known for a stolen base in a big series for the Red Sox that turned a series around against the Yankees.
Yeah,
the comeback. So he's permanently a hero in Boston, and he's made his legacy and his bones in LA as the manager. And I still say, like, yeah, they got a great roster, but you never hear like drama with them. Like they have, nobody bitches about playing time. Like they got all these superstars. They bring all these guys in, and he keeps things humming, and that is a job in itself. So I think he's underregarded. He's one of those guys. He's a little bit like Jordan and LeBron. The only reason he doesn't win Manager of the Year is because of fatigue by the voters. Like, we can't give it to him.
Sure.
That'd be too easy.
He's the standard bearer.
He is. And it's like he's reached that level where he is that good a manager. And yeah, okay, but he's got a great roster.
Well, and he never get the respect anyway, right? It's like if a billionaire gives away $5 million in charity, they're gonna say, well, you could have given more. Well,
of course.
Yeah, you could have done more. He could have won more. Well, he could have won every game. I mean, but it's like,
and again, it goes to like, he's a great manager. Fastest ever to 1,000 wins. He's won 3 World Series. He's also lost 2 World Series.
Yeah,
hard to win championships.
Brady lost some Super Bowls.
He did. But people
LeBron,
you don't remember.
Lost 2.
And Jordan lost playoff series. Believe it or not.
Good point.
He did. Yeah, we forget that kind of stuff. All right, we're halfway through the week. Actually, we're more than halfway through the week. We should have observed halftime of the week yesterday because we're not working Friday. Friday's the holiday.
Yeah.
I heard our overlords are giving us the Friday off. And
Take that, Canada. We're off here.
Yeah, we're off on the 3rd, and we're celebrating the 3rd and the 4th. So it's a little bit of an extended weekend for us. Billy is in Vegas. He's on his way to Vegas right now, enjoying a little R&R on his week off.
Good for him.
Dobie's in. Scott Dolphin's coming in.
All right.
We reach halftime. We got plenty of room for your hot takes. We want some more. 877-794-1973. Armen got us off to a slow start today. He didn't hit the button, so we weren't rolling on YouTube right away with the video.
No, we weren't.
Audio's still there.
We were on the air, but we weren't. They didn't see our beautiful faces.
No one needs to see our faces
until 5:15. So
but that's all right. That's all right. But Dolph will be in next, and we'll throw some hot takes at Dolph. You are in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Rolling along the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin, 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison, everywhere in the iHeart app. Streaming live, Facebook, X, and YouTube. Dobie Maxwell in. Billy's on vacation. Dobie's filling in. And it's halftime, so our halftime correspondent, Scott Dolphin from the country station on the Hall, FM 106, is here with us. Hello, Dolph.
Fellas, good to see you, Dobie. Dobie reminded me the last time we met was on, I think, 2 morning shows ago. I probably had a mullet then, and I may have had a body wave in the back.
It was very stylish.
Yeah. What do you mean head? Your flow's looking pretty good.
But it's the flow, right?
Got some flow, man.
That cat pitching for the Reds, was that last night or the night before?
He had a good one.
What a great flow. I mean, it spilled over both shoulders, front and back.
I thought the Journey tour bus broke down.
Exactly.
I was going to say, is the mullet making a comeback in some circles, or did it never go away? Because when I walk through West Dallas on my way into State Fair, I see a lot of mullets.
A lot of young guys going with that look now.
Country music, it's big. I mean, Morgan Wallen kind of has brought it back single-handedly.
Prison yards, too. You see a lot of that there.
Absolutely. Yeah. You know, it was never called the mullet when I grew the mullet. It was always called hockey hair. That's what we called it.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
It was called the latest hairdo. It was just called hair, yeah. A lot of mustaches coming back now for young dudes as well. They're trying to get. I think
porn stash is big.
I mean, everything is cyclical. Everything.
Some women that I date too, they got little Raleigh fingers going.
Sure. The handlebar.
The goose gossage going.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, Dobie, right? Till the lights come on at the bar.
The L. Raboski.
Yeah, the mad
Hungarian.
Oh my goodness.
Dobie's here. Oh, man.
All right, so it's hot take hump day. We're entertaining hot takes. There's so much going on in sports that we have to pick through. Like, this is the NBA feeding frenzy. It's like, I think most people here, once we got resolution with Giannis last week, it's like, all right, Giannis is no longer back. All right. Bucks made a move yesterday, signed Ousmane Dieng to a deal. They didn't tender him. They signed him a 3-year deal. He's a young player, betting on the come. But now it's LeBron. It's LeBron-a-palooza, because Kawhi is getting traded out of LA. All the talent's leaving California, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And LeBron's going to end up somewhere, possibly Miami with Giannis, or Golden State.
With Steph.
Not Cleveland. Got going home.
Don't you wish, like, LeBron was kind of waiting for the Giannis to leave the stage, and now he's like everything. Like, maybe they could have been speculating about LeBron's next team and given us a break from the constant Giannis talk.
He needs the spot. There is a sense of him that, like, I'm not as much of a quote unquote, some guys always have been like LeBron haters or LeBron, whatever. LeBron's had a great career. I think it stands on its own. He's never really been in trouble, but I understand the idea that he likes to be in the spotlight a little bit. There's a little bit of narcissism there. He likes the idea that people are talking about him. I think when he's in his 70s, we're going to have a decision 0.8 for like what retirement home he's going to be in. He's like, I'm taking my talents to Coral Gables. I think there is a little bit of that in him.
Yeah.
I'm taking my talents to the pines of Mar Gables or something.
So the question that I have is, if he ends up in Miami, how does that work with him and Giannis
and Bam?
I
don't think it does.
And then
I don't think it can.
Does Pat Riley then have to take on, Bronny and Thanasis in this part of the deal in the Nepo baby derby?
And what are the other 2 brothers' names? Alex and
Alex is signed and playing Greece again.
Zeppo.
Okay.
Zeppo.
Zeppo, Harpo.
No one remembers Zeppo.
Curly Joe or the new Curly Joe.
Joe Besser.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So that's percolating. The World Cup is going on. We've been talking about it. U.S. plays tonight. Big match tonight, 7:00. That's almost like split screen. That's something that would compete against the Brewers game.
Yeah, and they take on Bosnia and Herzegovina, which of course is where the Milwaukee Messi plays.
That's right.
This 21-year-old kid, and Armen, what's his name? I don't want to put you on the spot like that. There's a lot of syllables there, but it's the kid who grew up in Wisconsin. He came up through the Milwaukee Wave youth program, probably could have made Team USA. He was on the 21 and under USA team, but decided to go where his parents came from, obviously very close to their roots.
Esmir, I'm going to do my best here. This is Slavic. Esmir Bajraktovic.
It's just an interesting.
I think you're right.
Yeah,
it's an interesting vibe, though. I mean, he came. He's going to be going up against his former teammates in a lot of cases tonight.
Yeah,
he's from Appleton.
Yeah, he's from Appleton. Played with Wave. The Wave.
Are the names on the back of the jerseys? That'll be like a Scrabble 300-pointer with all those letters on the back of a jersey.
Plus,
like at Ted and Kupo.
Down his leg.
Plus, you got to find a way to put the little apostrophe on the C.
The umlaut.
Yeah. Umlaut for German. That German had the umlaut.
That's right.
Oh, classic. So you got that going on. Got the Brewers who are, they've recovered from their weekend loss to the Cubs. Losing 2 out of 3 of the Cubs. They've recovered.
2 things. I mean, Bowers, what a godsend he has been. This is a guy that really couldn't find himself 5-6 different clubs, and he comes here and he's been so solid, 15 home runs. But Churio hit his 10th home run of the month.
Wow.
Last night.
Amazing.
What's the record, Drew? Do you know?
For home runs in a month?
Brewers or for
the Brewers.
Yeah.
Great question.
That's got to be close, right? 10 in a month?
I don't know, but Russell Brandon that 1 month Russell Brandon had like
he went nuts.
I mean, didn't Terang just hit like 10 or 12 in August last year?
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think he might have.
Short-term memory.
I mean, yeah, he was up there. Thames had a month where he went off like in April.
13 apparently is the record.
Wow.
Shared by 2 players. You want to guess? One was in 07, one was in 19.
How about Ryan Braun?
Fielder?
Prince Fielder's one in
Oh,
19.
oh, good one.
Yeah, that's a good guess, but it wasn't Ryan Braun.
Yelich?
Prince Fielder and Yelich. Yes. So there you go. Gorman had 12 in August of 79, so he was close.
That was a big
There
year.
you go.
All right.
Yeah.
So there you have it, Dolph.
Sorry,
But that's a pretty good month, though.
Vaughn and Burnett's also had 12, 96, 99s. But 13 is the record shared by Yelich and Fielder.
Love Burnett's. Do you remember when the Brewers used to have post-game award or postseason awards? And they would
have
do
a
it.
banquet like
Yeah,
in high
at the
school?
Pfister.
Yeah.
And one year we got invited. Karen and I, we were talking about this morning. Karen Del Sandro and I got invited to present the home run champion of the year. And Burnett's won it. And so we go up and Jeremy Burnett's, and a screen raises up behind us, and he's sitting in his backyard in San Diego, I want to say. Thanks, Karen. Scott. This is a great honor. And he goes on. It's like we're at the Academy Awards or something. But he could not be present, so we accepted in his honor.
I just love the idea that they used to have those team
The
banquets.
Diamond Dinner. They
Yeah.
used to have the Diamond Dinner in the middle of winter.
Yeah.
I still have a Brewers briefcase that I use to this day that they gave me for being there that night. I think it was Tim
swag
Van
bag?
Wagner.
Tim Van Wagner, great man.
No, it wasn't open to the public, was it?
I don't know.
Oh
but
yeah, Diamond Dinner was open.
was?
Yeah, it was like at the Pfister.
Oh,
It was at the Pfister Ballroom.
Yeah.
I know our table was Rod Carew and his wife. Jeff Jenkins was there.
Jeez, wow.
Chucky Carr
Chucky
was there at our
Chucky.
table with us. It was a thrill for me.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that, being around all these.
Those were fun. I remember my pal. They'd bring in a speaker, like the honorary speaker, an MC kind of thing. But one year it was Tim Kirch.
That was the year, Drew. I
Tim
was
Kirch.
there. That
I was in the building that year.
He was fantastic.
Yeah, he's hilarious, and I still talk to him about that because the Brewers flew him in, and he was he got on the plane, and he was the only person on the plane on
from
his flight.
Baltimore, Midwest Express.
Midwest Express, back when shout out to Midwest Express. But yeah, he still tells that story.
He
He's
was
like
the
it
only
was like they
person?
sent him a private jet. It was a commercial flight, but he was the only person on the Baltimore to Milwaukee flight.
That is unheard of now. I mean, to be the only person on a flight is like.
And he was talking about how uncomfortable it was. Like the flight attendants, like they just like, oh, sit down. You want anything? No, I'm good. All right. And they're just kind of chilling. Like one person to take care of.
I'm surprised he didn't cancel the flight.
Did they give him the safety speech? One guy.
He gets an individual.
Right. I bet they doted over him. Have you ever been on a plane where there's been only 1 or 2 people? I have.
Really?
Never.
Yeah.
I mean, not these days. That's nearly
No,
impossible.
yeah, these days
Seriously, it is
impossible. But I had a couple of those.
I never. In my radio career, I had to do mornings on Christmas Day in California, and went through Phoenix on the way back to Iowa, and 2 of us on an America West flight. Remember that airline, America West?
Yeah.
So it was 2 of us, and that was an airline that had free. It was free cocktails on America West. So
pilots too.
You got bottle service. You could have got bottle service.
I got free drinks all the way back to Cedar Rapids. It was amazing. 2 people on the flight.
Wow.
All right. So it's like, what's the old school airline that you flew? America West would be one. Did you ever fly Pan Am? I don't think I ever flew.
I never
Pan
did.
Am.
No.
TWA, Trans World.
Yeah, because a lot of times you'd connect through St. Louis, right, on TWA.
That's right. Back when there was a Northwest Airlines, that was my big carrier.
Northwest and Midwest Express were
U.S. Air.
Mine. Yeah, but I'm not that old. U.S. Air.
Continental.
Oh, yeah. Now they're all around as parts of mergers. But Northwest, I missed Northwest because you could fly direct to Memphis. You can't do that anymore, right?
Nope. Allegheny Air was one.
Dobie, you probably flew for some airlines that just appeared when he went to the airport.
No, I drove.
You drove the plane.
Yeah, I drove. No, I drove cars to gigs. The gigs I have, the airplanes didn't go there.
Right.
Dobie always says most people drive 45 minutes to work 8 hours. He would drive 8 hours to work 45 minutes.
Welcome to show business. There's no shortcuts in this world.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely.
What were the other? I mean, there were some other regional. I remember a story from Bill
Bob's
Curry.
Airline.
There you go. Yeah, Bob's Discount Airline. No, there was North Central was the airline that was. Bill Curry told the story that he was late for his first practice with the Packers with Lombardi, and he told them that because of your plane being late, I'll be late for my first meeting with Vince Lombardi, and I'm going to tell him it's your fault. And they rented him a private plane to go get there.
Beautiful.
He told that story on some NFL Films thing. Yeah.
I remember flying Value Jet many years ago. They became AirTran, and now both of those are gone, right?
Airhound.
Airhound.
Spirit,
Frontier.
Yeah. I think Frontier's still flying, though, right?
Spirit Airline, you don't buy a ticket, you buy a chance. It's like, well, let's roll the dice.
I'm telling you, Spirit was underappreciated. It wasn't that bad. I flew plenty.
Asterisk, dumb question. Speaking of Green Bay, who was Austin Straubel? Anybody know? I don't know.
I have no clue.
No joke.
No idea.
Great point. I have no idea.
No clue.
I'll look it up here for you.
It's a cool
Thank
name.
you, Armen.
I mean,
I would guess like military hero or something.
Like Billy Mitchell, right?
Like Billy Mitchell. Yeah, I don't know.
Billy Mitchell Field here in Milwaukee. Austin Straubel is a name that sounds like he's probably in college today.
Yeah, it sounds like
a name that's
either a golfer.
Yeah, Lieutenant Colonel Austin Straubel, major in the U.S. Army Air Forces from Green Bay.
The more you know.
It was Brown County's first aviation loss in World War II. So World War II.
There you go.
There you go. It makes sense. Yeah, absolutely.
The more you know.
Civic info from the the morning.
You learn stuff there. You learn stuff there. All right, so because I haven't had Dobe on the air in a while. And Dolph's with us every day.
Yeah,
halftime reporter. But Dobe, I want to offer my condolences because one of your good friends, Tom Dreesen, passed recently. The legendary Tom Dreesen. And Dolph's old enough to remember Tom Dreesen being on the Tonight Show all the time.
I can still picture him wearing a Dodgers uniform.
I worked with him at a fundraiser in Los Angeles area last year, and he was 85. He looked 45. Never a pound overweight, super nice guy. And I have a Facebook group that mentors young comedians. And he was always said, I send people ask me, I send him to your group. And before he passed away, he sent me a letter. Said, hey, keep me in have you in the same schedule, take you out to dinner. And we never in the same town. So he sent me $100 bill that said, bon appetit, buddy, eat on me. And 2 weeks later, he passed away.
Unbelievable.
Very sad.
That is so
15
sad.
15 years opening for Sinatra.
Sinatra.
And the stories that he had.
Exactly right.
I just always looked forward when he was going to be on something that I was going to be watching. His energy was nonstop the whole time. He'd come out and he always had a smile on his face. Always brought his A game. Was always enjoyable to watch. That's sad news.
Yeah.
Think about this real quickly. I mean, people wonder what it's like to be a comedian. He was opening for Frank Sinatra in 20,000 seat arenas, and not one of those people were there to see him. Yeah. And sometimes Frank was in a mood. Tommy, I need you to do 15 minutes. Then Tommy, I need you to do 8 minutes. Tommy, I need you to do 25 minutes. So you got to on the fly. Switch up, adjust, because Mr. Sinatra, and he always called him Mr. Sinatra, said what he wanted. So his degree of difficulty on a scale of 1 to 10 was a 74, and he pulled it off, and you never knew that he was
every
sweating.
night.
Yeah, he was awesome. Just a Hall of Famer, the ambassador of comedy. Can't say enough good things. Thanks for bringing that. With much respect.
I know that that one hit you because it's like, whew.
And he was a Cub. He was a Cub fan too. And last year, when the Cubs lost to the Brewers, he called me and congratulated. Said, "You know what? I'm hurting right now, but your team is great."
Harvey, Illinois, right?
Illinois, exactly right.
From Harvey,
Lou Boudreau was a ball player. Was from Harvey as well. So every time I get a Lou Boudreau baseball card, I send him stacks of them.
Yeah. The good kid, Lou Boudreau. I only know that from watching Cubs games as a child. The good kid, Lou Boudreau.
Lou Boudreau's grandson lives in the area, Blaine, and I've known Blaine for a long time. Yeah, absolutely. Wow. Blaine's a good guy, man. Right. One of the good ones.
He's going to get the cards because
good kid. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right. You still got a bunch of those left over. That's pretty cool. But yeah, Tom Dreesen, and we're old enough to remember, he was on Tonight Show, he'd slay. And Carson loved having him. And he had that cachet because he was anointed by Sinatra. Like your Sinatra's opening act everywhere he goes, you're performing and in the tux and just doing
For people that my bank robbery story, I almost went to prison, blah, blah, blah. There was a time I thought I was going to go to jail. I had a radio job in Reno. And the guy comedian calls me up and says, "Hey, your buddy Tom Dreesen came through. We've got front row tickets to see Frank Sinatra Jr. in Reno." Because we go in there and they take us, right down to the front row. And he called me up later and said, "Hey, kid, I'm going through some hard times. I hope you had a good time." That's a class act.
Wow.
Who thinks of that?
Yeah.
He heard about it secondhand.
Yeah.
So you got me started on it. That guy is a legend.
I can only imagine being in Frank's orbit too. You have stories.
Oh.
But you have to be judicious about how you share the stories. But I'm sure everybody wants to hear a story.
You better learn to drink.
Yeah, exactly.
Couldn't be a teetotaler in that.
Or be Dean Martin and just dip out and leave early and, I got a tea time. Or drink apple juice instead of whiskey.
Instead of whiskey, exactly.
Well, it just wasn't singers, right? What did he have? He had actors and comedians and part of the Rat Pack back in the
that
day.
whole
What a circus that was.
Yeah, but what's the stories? And a huge Cubs fan too.
Respect. He would sing a Southsider too, being a Cubs fan. and he would throw out the first pitch.
Yeah, that is rare because he was from Harvey. So you think that's White Sox country, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a weird vibe, though. My brother-in-law grew up on the far north side and is a huge Sox fan.
You never know.
It's just it's just
people just rebel,
right?
Or they just like.
Did you see AJ Brzezinski met the Pope, by the way, last week?
I saw that.
And presented him with the game ball from the final out of the game 1 of the 2005 World Series. And
the Pope was at.
Ball. He was at the game.
He was at the game. He was on TV.
He's like, this is the ball?
Nice. Yeah. Isn't that wild?
That's a great story.
I have a great story from that World Series when the White Sox won it. I was in their clubhouse and I was at AJ Brzezinski's locker. And this woman, Phyllis Marriage, who was the vice president of PR for the American League, saw me outside the clubhouse. She goes, Drew, we need AJ in here. Can you tell him to come out here? I'm like, yeah, okay. So I go to his locker and there's a bunch of guys standing around. He's giving us quotes. He's a good quote, good media guy.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. And I said, hey, AJ, Phyllis wants you in the media room to do the mask thing for everybody. He goes, oh, yeah, okay. I said, you might want to put your jersey back on. Because he had he had a t-shirt on with an X-rated slogan on it. He was about to walk out on the national TV. He's a good catch, man. Good catch. So he put his jersey back on because he's soaked with champagne and he put his jersey back on. But when we go to commercial break, I'll tell you what the t-shirt said.
We were at
so I saved AJ Brzezinski.
I love that. We were at that infamous brawl game between the Cubs and Sox 20 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Where him and Michael Barrett, the two catchers. It was amazing to be a part of. And, the stadium's about ready to throw down, too, because you got 20,000 Cub fans down on the south side.
Yeah. Oh, that was epic.
That was WWE.
That was
great.
It was a fun day.
It was fun.
Dolph, thanks for hanging out with us. We appreciate it as always.
Thanks.
One more day till we get the short week. This Billy took vacation. He only had to burn 4 vacation days because that was a smart move on his. He's learning from you, Dow. He's learning.
Well, I'm glad I planted that in his brain.
Yeah, you did. Definitely. You're our inspiration for that. Yeah, got Dolphin likewise. Country Station down the hall. We'll be right back. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Drew Olson, Armen, sorry, and Dobie Maxwell sitting in. We're huddled up on a Wednesday in the good land. Get us your hot takes. 877-794-1973 gets you to NicoletLaw.com talk and text line. This portion of the program brought to you by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. World-class care right here in our backyard. OrthoWisconsin.com is the website. If you have a sports injury or just a nagging problem, hip, knee, elbow, ankle, whatever it might be, back, neck, go check out with the experts. If you have a young athlete getting hurt on the travel ball circuit, go to Orthopedic Associates Wisconsin.
How about a broken heart?
Broken heart?
Yeah.
I don't know if they can help you or not.
I got a bruise.
They're nice people.
They're
you
nice
got a bruise?
Yeah.
A contusion?
Bruised
ego?
Yeah, bruised ego. So check it out, orthowisconsin.com. Hot Take Hump Day continuing. We're just chopping it up with the boys. Dolph, thanks to Dolph for popping in. But yeah, Dobie, you're working the highways and byways here. Brewers are playing well. You're kind of, you live in the Kenosha area by the state line, so you're in the DMZ of Bears, Packers. What's it like? The Cubs come in, they take 2 or 3, but they have not found their way yet, and their fans are not feeling great.
What's funny because I was at a gas pump, and I wear my Brewer cap religiously that I got from you, and it's always fun. And I saw a Cubs fan; he's all decked out in Cubs everything, and just gives me a glare and a snarl. I said, "Don't blame me. Your organization stinks." And he goes, "Yeah, you're right."
But then again, we began the show with a little rant because the Brewers are winning. They're like the best record ever after 82 games or whatever it is. Like they've reached the halfway point. They've defied the odds again.
Sure.
And yet people are like, they got to get Yelich out of the leadoff spot. He sucks lately. He's 0 for 4 again last night, punched out 3 times. Mm-hmm. And it's like everybody wants everything to be perfect, right, Armen? Like we're looking at this as like, can't you just be happy they won a game? They won 2 in a row.
There's a nitpicking aspect of it.
But there's always something.
It's like Al McGuire once said, there are certain people that if they married Raquel Welch, they'd expect her to cook too. Right? Yes. Now, that's an old reference. I get it. But the idea, yes, I mean, of all the great lineups, even you remember, Drew, I mentioned earlier, like they weren't all hitting at the same time. It's like unless you have everyone hitting at the same time, everyone's gonna say, "Well, what about that thing?" I know you got a mansion, but the paint on that 37th window looks a little bit old,
Cindy Crawford has a mole.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Stuff like that. So the Brewers obviously are playing well. Not everyone's gonna be hitting at the same time in this lineup right now. Sal's getting hot. Yelich has been scuffling a bit. Sometimes it was terrain. Now he's figuring. So that's just the process. That's the way it works. The important thing is you have the depth of a team to try and pick each other up because that's how you win during those moments, right? You don't rely on a couple guys. So the Brewers have been winning. That's the important thing. They're on pace right now for 101 wins. Will they get there? I don't think so. They've never won 100 games, but it's just an indication of how well they've done here in this first.
Exactly. And some people, it's their default setting. And in the social media era, negativity moves the needle. So it's like, that's the thing. But when Craig Counsell played for the Brewers, his nickname was the Grumpy Rooster because he'd come in with his hair all messed up and stuff for spring training. And he was usually kind of grumpy. That's what was his default setting, right? BJ Surhoff, when he played for the Brewers, Phil Garner nicknamed him Mr. Happy.
Because he never smiled,
right? He was always very dour. He's like Mr. Happy. He's like, yep, BJ could win the lottery and then bitch about having to pay taxes. And you're like, yeah, that's how it is. That's how people are wired. But in this day and age, Dobie, it's like those people are winning. Those people that are always negative. Badger's going to hire a new AD, and he's got state roots. He's went to Whitewater. Yeah. He's from, I don't even remember, some small town in Wisconsin. Instead of being happy, like, this sucks, this is terrible. He was awful at Nebraska. They should have gotten somebody better. He hasn't even gotten the job yet. They haven't even announced it officially yet. Mm-hmm. But people want to be the first to say he's going to suck.
Your boy Art Kabolowski is very high on this guy. Thinks he's going to do a great job.
I think, yeah.
He could.
He might, but we don't know. Let him do it. Hey, give him a chance. That's the thing. Oh, my goodness. All right. We have another hour of the program. We're going to fly through it because Dobie is here. You got any questions for Dobie about comedy? You got any hot takes? Hot take hump day is upon us. I got a lot more holstered up. Don't you go anywhere. Where else would you rather be? You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
I'm Doug Russell. According to a report from ESPN college football insider Pete Thamel, the University of Wisconsin is targeting former Miami and Nebraska athletic director Sean Eichhorst to be their new AD. Eichhorst has spent time in Madison previously as a deputy AD during Barry Alvarez's tenure. Moving on to baseball, where the Brewers fell behind early, but by the later innings, they were starting to pour it on.
Series in Philadelphia. Churio blasts one to deep left center. It's up and gone. Jackson Churio's got a dozen homers.
Brewers TV with the call. The final score, Milwaukee over Cincinnati 7-2. Game 3 of the 4-game series is tonight. Shane Drowan pitches against Andrew Abbott. It gets underway at 7:10. And the U.S. men's soccer team plays in the round of 32 tonight in Santa Clara against Bosnia and Herzegovina. Kickoff is at 7 o'clock. The final hour of the Huddle starts now. I'm Doug Russell on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love.
Everybody wake up! Everybody wake up!
With the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with a number of cameras. Take the cameras off the field, then there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on one. Ready, Be alert for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 get. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red right 18 bob on one. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We know exactly what we got to do. All right? That's all we're going to board down to. Let's go out and kick the tape. All right? Hey, yo. 1, 2, 3. Keep doing what you're doing. Sit down now, and make the play. Be right, all the way outside. Wide, left, fake, 396 bag, be hand, see puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid,
Oh, my God. This man's been out all night.
and Armen Sarian.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Sanchez, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
Greetings and salutations, smart, good-looking listeners. Let's say hello to the 7 o'clock clubbers. The 5 o'clock club, that's an exclusive club. People who are up early. We call them early risers, insomniacs, sociopaths waiting for the health club to open. They're with us at 5. Some people are just waking up right now. If you are, good morning. Welcome into the huddle. I'm Drew Olson, joined by Armen Sarian. Billy Schmid's on vacation. Dobie Maxwell sitting in.
Nobody can replace Billy. You just hope to contain him.
If you can just giggle once in a while. Because that's what we miss is Billy's laugh.
No, I love you guys' show. I do listen when I can, when I'm up, but it's
you're up walking and doing your stuff.
I'm up walking. No, it's you guys. It's different when you know people personally on the radio, and you guys are cool. So if you're listening and you see any Billy, Drew, or Armen anywhere, go up to him and then you know him personally. It just takes a whole new, better angle when you listen to the show because it's like, oh, these guys are good. I like them as people.
That's true.
Yeah, that's a good point. And appreciate that, Dobie.
I mean it.
Everyone buy your book, Monkey in the Middle.
Oh, thank you,
Great
brother.
one. Deserves a wider audience, I always say, with an amazing life story such as yours. But I would say it's a true crime memoir.
It is. And it happened in Wisconsin, most of it.
And I'm sorry, these days, true crime is the biggest business going.
It is.
Everyone's got a podcast about it. Everyone's obsessed with it to a point where it's like, okay, is that a little weird? But it not to that level. But it's like you can't swing a cat around without hitting a murder podcast these days.
I had a neighbor that was a pastor growing up, and he said, I can get more people in the seats talking about the devil than I can about Jesus.
Wow. And that's sort of what we're talking about.
Yeah, the bad guy.
This show, right, Drew, about how people respond more to what's, I don't want to say what's negative.
To the negative.
What's basically, what's more negative about it than, the Brewers are rolling along. So what do you say? But it's like, someone's not hitting. So,
yeah. Well, I got to get Yelich out of the leadoff spot. He's killing you.
Now, Jonah in River Falls on the NickLayLaw.com talking text line, pushing back on that a bit with this theory, Drew. Two things can be true at the same time, Drew. We can enjoy the Brewers playing well, but we also want the best out of our players. Thoughts?
Yeah, but like we said, you want perfection, right?
Which is not attainable, right?
The 27 Yankees weren't perfect.
They weren't, and players have slumps, teams have slumps. It's just not.
But I would say also it's what you focus on. If we want what's best out of our players, great. Let's talk about how great of a run Jackson Churrio's having and how William Contreras is playing. And we got the best pitcher in baseball. There's a lot to focus on that's good, and we can take a whole approach to it and say,
best manager,
Yeah. Do you know who the coldest team in baseball is right now? The longest losing streak currently in the major leagues?
I think I know.
The New York Yankees.
Yeah.
Well, they got a lot of injuries.
They've been awful since Judge was hurt. Yeah, Judge and Stanton are out, so they have no offense. Their starting pitching is wobbly. And they've sucked for a couple weeks now, but they're still 48 and 37.
Mm-hmm.
And they're looking at like, oh, what are we going to do at the deadline? What do we have to? We have to make some moves. Should they get Skubal? Will that put them over? Well, they're,
we're going to give up though.
Skubal can't hit. They need offense because that's what's killing them right now. And Tampa Bay is 2.5 games up on them. Right. So, and again, like we're in this culture, and Dobie, you've lived through it because we're like of
a certain vintage,
similar vintage. Like all those years when we were growing up, and the Bucks had awesome teams, and Nelly was coaching, and they had Moncrief and Pressey and Lanier and Marcus Johnson, and they would always run into Boston or Philadelphia and get cooked in the conference finals.
Sure.
But it was never like they got to clean house, they got to fire everybody, they got to trade everybody. Nelson should be gone. He can't win the big one. It was never that. It was like, damn, that sucked. But the seasons were great, and then you just like, okay, well maybe next year will be our year. And it's like the old Cubs thing, like, wait till next year, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's gone now. and everybody wants to win all the time. And we're coming up. We're a couple weeks away from the 5th anniversary of the Bucks winning a title. And as delirious as that time was, now the memories are fading, and the more crystal clear memories is Giannis being hurt, playoff disappointments. The overarching number one motto of this show, The Huddle, is 90% of being a sports fan is getting kicked in the nuts.
Absolutely.
Indeed, yeah. Indeed.
And then the 10% that is glorious.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not enjoying, like the Brewers beating the Reds on a Tuesday night and, getting 14 hits and hitting homers and 5 hits with runners in scoring position, if you're not enjoying that because Christian Yelich was 0 for 4 and struck out 3 times in the leadoff spot, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Right? It's like you're wired wrong.
It's like,
yeah, Jonah, you want your team, but you want perfection. Absolute perfection. You want my team to win 162-0 and then steamroll through the playoffs and win the World Series. It's been 5 years since the Bucks won a championship. The Packers won their title, 2011?
Mm-hmm.
Right? But then not everybody wins all the time. Tom Brady didn't win every year. Tom Brady went 10 years between Super Bowl titles. People forget that. They think he won every year he played.
Sure.
It's just warped. We're warped.
I agree.
And, the Yankees, how many, Armen, how many World Series championships have the Yankees won in the last 20 years? Look that up.
1.
I think it's 1.
Yeah.
For all their resources.
09, yeah. 09.
For all their resources. Yeah. Haven't won since 09. Now, the Brewers, again, we're old enough to the Brewers making the playoffs is still to me a good
thrill.
Thing. Yeah. It's becoming like the baseline. And it's like, well, why even bother if you're not going to win, if you're not going to make it to the World Series? Now they got to get through and win the LCS. And then we'll worry about the World Series when they get there, right? But can't we expect a title? Yeah, you can expect it, but it's not a birthright.
I would say you can't expect it. You can hope for it, cheer for it, dream of it, aspire to it, but to expect it is just folly, isn't it? And then
it made me think about what are LeBron's leaving the Lakers. Was his tenure there successful? They won a championship in the bubble. One.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's good, but it's one more than they would have had without him, right? But was that a failure? What are the markets that are title or bust? Like Green Bay is probably one of those.
Boston is there just because they've won so many, right?
What sport?
Well, Boston.
Just as a city? Because,
yes. Well, I would say only because they had so much success in the last 20 years. With the Red Sox, what was that kid that went to 17 parades or whatever like that?
Yeah. And, the Red Sox are currently in last place.
Well, they stink the last few years, yes. Yeah,
they're 13 out.
Right.
And they have all the resources in the world.
The Celtics just won the title recently, and people are calling the Jaylen Brown era potato.
And they want to break it up.
Right.
So, but again, what markets? The Lakers are one of those teams that it's like championship or bust. They think they should win every year.
Cowboys.
Now it's going to be the Luka Doncic. Cowboys are a perfect example. How many playoff games have they won in the last 30
years? Not many.
Not many.
Yeah, probably one of the most popular teams in pro sports, but they haven't won the championship.
No.
But have the expectation. Their fan base wants it. Jerry Jones wants it. That's always quote unquote their standard. So I'd say they're sort of like the Yankees in that regard. You look at them that way, but they haven't. I mean, Packers, you could say, maybe I guess in hockey, would you say the Canadiens or the Maple Leafs? Of course, the Maple Leafs haven't won it in 50, 60 years.
Ever.
Yeah, they're the Cubs on ice.
So
the entire country hasn't won it in 25 years.
Yeah. Since 93. I mean, that's the other thing.
Edmonton. But with these fan bases, what are the fan bases? Win or why bother? What are the championship or bust? Green Bay, that's the perception. Championship or bust.
That's the perception.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In Green Bay.
Sure.
And what's acceptable?
College Alabama football.
Yeah, but what's acceptable? Winning one every 10 years? Is that?
No, not for those markets. I mean, I know your question is good. Is a good one. What's the standard?
What's the standard? What's the expectation?
I think if you ask Alabama football fans or Duke basketball fans, they would not accept once a decade. Even though that's probably pretty good to what you could hope for.
It's basically all you can expect.
But do you think that they would be telling you, well, I'm satisfied losing 9 years out of 10? Because that's how they're going to look at it.
Well, and this is the old Doug Russell argument where it's give me a championship and then we can suck for 20 years. Well, those 20 years suck. It's
sure.
And if I'd have told you 5 years ago that in 5 years, Giannis will be gone and the Bucks are going to be rebuilding, what?
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't have believed it. But it's the old Warren Zevon. Enjoy every sandwich.
Sure.
Couldn't agree more.
Embrace the 10%.
Yeah.
Also,
because the 90% is coming.
When you have a run, now UConn's had their share of championships in like basketball, and they had a run with Hurley most recently. So they had Calhoun, they had the Kevin Ollie year, they had their Hurley years. You have kind of peaks, and like Villanova's only had 2, but that came in that peak with Jay Wright, and they had like an era, right? So does that make them a national championship kind of program? Like, can Villanova fans now expect that they'll stay in that, afterwards for years to come? No, I would say no. That's just like if I said because Marquette was the second best program in the country for a decade in the 1970s, that they should continue to be that. That's an unrealistic expectation. Most of these programs have a peak that they can attain to, but it doesn't mean that they're going to sustain that over time, over eras. Only a few have done that. You can talk about Duke, North Carolina. UCLA hasn't won a title in how long, but they were the unbeatable for a decade, right?
Sure.
And I'm talking about college basketball here. So
North Carolina,
Kansas, maybe. You can talk about those programs that have sustained success as blue bloods, but a program like Indiana has it, and they're still searching in the wilderness for it, right? So that's a great question, Drew. What is a realistic expectation? What is acceptable, and what is something that fans should be okay with?
Yeah,
because a lot of that feeling in those fan bases is, if we start talking about how it's okay, then we've accepted mediocrity. You hear this
all the time,
same sort of narrative all the time.
Yep.
Well, we're accepting mediocrity, and therefore, if we're accepting,
I just live in the real world.
Right? That's what I think. That's the other side of the coin. That's what people would say.
I always tell people that like that. It's like, okay, look at your old lady. Okay, you expect a Playboy centerfold. Well, what you get? It's not. You got to enjoy it.
Yeah, you better enjoy it, because what's the alternative, right? I mean,
monkhood.
Yes. Oh my goodness. And there's stuff to be excited about, and just like enjoy the journey. Embrace the journey.
It'd be fun to be a fan.
Indeed. Yeah, go ahead, Drew.
I know people got mad at when Atanasio said, they got mad at David. Was it David Stearns that had the bites of the apple?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't like that.
They didn't like that. They didn't like when Atanasio said, "Is it my job to win championships or provide like a summer worth of like viable and entertainment and stuff like that?" Yeah, the Brewers are definitely viable, playing meaningful games, and it's a fun. Going to the ballpark is fun.
It is fun.
They're a fun team to watch, and they may or may not have fun in October. We don't know, but
Ben chiming in on the text line from the University of Arrowhead. Why haven't you guys acknowledged the prophecy by Drew? Predicted the Brewers would put up a touchdown. We did. We've been doing it.
I did say last night, because
listen.
They were so awful for like 2.5 weeks with runners in scoring position. I'm like, the dam's going to break. They're going to put up a touchdown. They scored 7 last night.
Bingo.
Cal Sheep, Poly Market, got nothing on me. Listen to this show, right? And Jeff in Fitchburg said, I'm with you. I enjoy watching regular season win on my porch with a beer more than anything. I don't enjoy it less because they haven't won a World Series. The bites at the apple approach makes summers better, yet it doesn't mean I don't want a trophy as much as anyone. Everyone fans their own way, so let them stew in their own trolling angst.
Well, he brings up a good point. That doesn't also mean we don't want to win also. You hear that a little bit. Billy likes this line a lot. It makes him laugh, where people will always say, well, I want this more, or I want to win a World Series, or we want this more. You don't want it more just because you complain more about it or get frustrated more. We all want it. We all want this to happen. It's not a question of wanting it more. That's not the problem. Like every fan base wants it. Like you say that, hear that a lot from fans about being frustrated with ownership, not spending more money. Like they have to want it more. It's not necessarily good strategy and process to do things, quote unquote, and say I want it more. That's not really a strategy. Okay, that's a hope. We all have hope. That's what makes sports great. That's what makes life great.
Luck is involved too. I think you have
to have things go your way.
Yeah, you do. Injuries, all that.
That's
stuff.
true.
Yeah.
And Jeff, here's the thing though. Let fans stew in their own trolling angst. Well, in the current landscape where everybody's got a megaphone and they can pump their bile into the zeitgeist, it's like you can't avoid it though. Like it's the churn. It's like the Badgers are going to hire an athletic director, and people are already panning it. They want to be the first on the block to say, this sucks. This guy's terrible at Nebraska. That was 10 years ago. He made a bad decision with Bo Pelini and Mike Riley, was it? Yeah. So it's like, but he sucks. And so therefore so you're dooming it and condemning it. And this guy might come in and be awesome. He might be awful. We just don't know at this point, right? again, it's because I'm old. Remember when the Brewers were trying to turn the page and they're moving into the new ballpark, and they went and got the assistant general manager from the Atlanta Braves, model franchise, success, the paragon of success, the Braves. We went and got their number 2 man. It was Dean Taylor. Dean Taylor did some nice things, but he wasn't the guy. It wasn't, a great tenure, but he did some things that made sense, right? And kind of hired Jack Zarensic, who drafted a bunch of the players who helped the Brewers get out of the wilderness, right? So he did, but it overall didn't win a title, didn't have a great deal of success, and he got run out. Again, was that a successful hire or not? It was kind of in the middle, as most things are.
Yeah.
Like most things are in the middle. They're neither like raging successes or runaway failures, but people have to proclaim them. If they're not one or the other, like no one can, can't function.
Yeah. I mean, are there going to be hot takes today on Serena losing yesterday? Like Serena Williams at 44 makes the Wimbledon comeback. Pretty impressive feat considering what she's been through and all the time that's passed and her age and having kids and all that. But you lost to a 20-year-old in 3 sets yesterday. Are people going to be like, hey, Serena, what's wrong with Serena?
Well,
like,
again,
come on. Like it's a little silly, but yes, to your point is well taken in that sense.
Again, and that goes to my Tiger Woods theory. The Tiger Woods transformational, great out. It was an unbelievable thrill to watch him ply his wares for when he was at the peak of his powers. Must see TV. It was awesome, but he didn't catch Jack Nicklaus for the major title, so therefore he's a failure.
Wow.
Like, what? Like what? And his personal stuff, and like, okay, he had the story arc, but and again, we're talking about LeBron because now he's a free agent, and he's not Jordan, so therefore, and the lines are drawn, and that's going to be an eternal debate. But LeBron's still playing and still being a viable player into his 40s, about to go embark on his 24th season.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
Well, like Armen said,
but he'll never be Jordan.
Never got in trouble.
Yeah,
that's
never.
A good point. People want to talk about that.
No, that's a great point.
Yeah.
So what's next for LeBron? And I'm sick of him. Like, who cares? Like, if he goes to Miami, that's going to be interesting. I'm almost rooting for him to go to Miami and play with Giannis and Bam and see what that looks like.
You just see what happens. They have no guards,
but he might end up back in Cleveland, which would be bringing it back home full circle. That's like a movie,
That's
right?
cool too.
To go back there. He started there,
his home,
left, came back, won a title, left, come back. They got a pretty good team.
Or you could see him go to the Warriors and hang out with all the other old stars.
Yeah, his buddy Draymond and Steph, and try to run it and Kerr. That'd be amazing too.
Basically like the NBA's version of like your college reunion or your high school reunion. And all the old guys are playing together again in the old timers game.
I don't have to root for or against LeBron. I can just appreciate what he does, right?
Isn't sports supposed to be entertainment? You watch a team like that. No, that's not your number one fan base. You're not, but you can watch and enjoy. I like those kind of stories.
And that's like, and I think Nags and I are kind of like on the same page. Aaron Nagler, Cheesehead TV.
Yeah.
It's like, Rogers left and then, okay, well, thanks for the memories. And it was awesome. And now I'm a Jordan Love fan. Like, you just turn the page. Like, you just,
You cheer for Rogers?
Sustaining.
I do.
Yeah, it doesn't affect me either way.
Packers Steelers Super Bowl. I'd love to see that.
Oh, that'd be incredible.
It would be incredible.
Yeah.
Should that mean we should make Nuance the hero of the day, Drew?
Probably should be Nuance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, who is our superhero of the day, brought to us by Current Electric?
Current Electric.
Armen, I'm going to let you pick. Who is it?
Well, I want it to be the U.S. men's national team tonight, but that's putting the cart before the horse. So hopefully we'll be talking about them tomorrow. So I'll say Serena, even though she lost, I think returning to Wimbledon, it was very competitive. She played well, lost in 3 sets to a young 20-year-old great player. So I'll say it's Serena Williams. She gave us, she reached back a little bit to give us one last, if it is her last match, not sure, one last memory of her on a grandest stage in tennis. So I'm going to say it's Serena Williams. A lot of people loved her era.
Respect. Yeah, she's great.
She won. Her opponent was, I think, Alyssa Joint or Maya Joint, who's 20 years old, Australian. Serena had already won like 6 Grand Slams by the time Maya was born. So that's pretty impressive. So let's give it to her.
Let's give it to her. All right. Call current.com. Current Electric. You see the superheroes on the side of the van here in the area around Milwaukee. They are the superheroes, especially this time of year. Residential, commercial, they got you. Call current.com. Current Electric, our superhero of the day. We'll spin through some who's hot and who's not. We'll continue to take your hot takes. 877-794-1973. NicoletLaw.com talk and text line. Dobie Maxwell is in, filling the chair for Billy Schmid. You are in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. It's a hot day in the good land. It's a hot take hump day on the Huddle. Drew Olson, along with Armen Sarian. Billy's off. Dobie Maxwell's hanging out with us today. Hit us with your hot takes, 877-794-1973. Also a good time to spin through who's hot and who's not. Brought to us by by Donovan Jorgensen, heating and cooling. Because if your air conditioner isn't working right now, we talked about this yesterday. Dobe, do you think there are more fights about the thermostat in cold weather or hot weather?
I say hot.
I agree. Because I walked into my house after our show yesterday, and my wife, the air conditioning wasn't on, and it was like 75 or 76 in the place. And I walk in I live in a condo, and the hallway is about 67. Mm-hmm. And I walk in, and it's stifling. I'm like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
This is uncomfortable. It's oppressive in my own house. So I turn on that. And, we're arguing about it. She's cold.
Especially sleeping, right?
Yeah.
That's when, like, some people really need it cold.
Well, you got the timer of the thermostat, and our timer, it goes down at night in the summer when the air conditioning's on, it goes down to 66 at night, which is like perfect sleeping.
Yeah, it is.
I think
it is.
Yeah. But it's like, Donovan Jorgensen, heating and cooling. We told people months ago to call Donovan Jorgensen, get your AC tuned up because it's coming. It didn't come like when we talked about it in May, it didn't really happen until now. We're in it. 100-degree heat index.
As Andy Griffith said, call the man.
Call Donovan Jorgensen, and employee owned for 40 years. They sponsor who's hot and who's not. We just mentioned who's not, the Yankees.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
6 losses in a row. They got to do something at the trade deadline. Judge is out for another month at least. Giancarlo Stanton is out. So they're the coldest team, but the longest losing streak in baseball right now is the mighty Yankees. They've fallen out of first place. Scrappy Tampa Bay, who no one pays attention to, and no one can name them any of their players. First place, ahead of the Yankees.
All right. Who's hot today? Happy Bobby Bonilla Day. Bobby Bonilla is
hot.
Oh,
yeah.
It's Bobby Bonilla Day for 10 more years. Or 9 more years. He's getting his $1.1 million check today from the Mets.
1.9 million.
1.9? Is that right?
It's 1.9.
Wow. Okay.
I'm sorry. It's 1.19.
Oh, okay. It makes more
Is
sense.
that a direct deposit, or is it get an actual physical check?
That's a great question. I'm sure
how that works.
Some point it was a physical check. They would cut it to him.
Yeah.
So I think at some point maybe transition, but Bobby Bonilla gets all the love on this day, Drew. But there's a bunch more, right? There's Max Scherzer, who gets annual payments. Chris Davis, Manuel Ramirez gets $2 million. Braun is getting 1.8 through 2031. He's deferred as well.
Exactly.
So he's loving that. So that's got to be pretty nice to know no matter how you screw it up throughout the year, whatever bad purchases you made, too many king-size Snickers bars, ordering coffee in the mail, whatever it is, you can always be like, you know what? Let's start over. I'll get my millions.
This is like the Mets thing with Bonilla is in part tied to the Madoff scandal.
Yeah. That's
because
another thing. They
thought that, all right, so we're going to pay him, and then we're making 10 to 12% on the money. We're not paying him to get rid of him. Like they owed him $5 or $6 million, and they decided to defer it. So he's making $30 million over 30 years.
Wow.
And it's actually, it ends up being a decent deal for the team, but it's wild, like the financials of it. But they were making 12% return on their Madoff investments, which turned out to be a Ponzi scheme, and that was not sustainable.
Yeah.
And so they thought, it ended up not being as good a deal for the team as they thought.
Some people believe if you can do it as a team, even though it seems onerous to have to pay all those years, it's better because it doesn't inflate, right? That's
exactly. And the
good point.
The Miami Marlins, where are the Marlins in the standings? Because they've been
okay.
They've been okay,
check that out
right?
for
They
us,
have like a minuscule payroll. But their third highest player is Giancarlo Stanton, the Yankees outfielder.
Yeah, okay.
They're third in the East right now.
Yeah, they're 46 and 40.
So definitely would be in the mix for a wild card spot, I think, if it ended today. Let me just check that. But I mean, they're doing pretty well.
Who's their manager? I don't even know.
That's a good question.
I couldn't even tell you.
We used to know every manager.
Every third base coach, I could tell you.
Yeah, the Marlins manager is blanking Clayton McCullough. Did anyone know that? Clayton McCullough. I had to Google that.
So the Marlins are paying Giancarlo Stanton $10 million a year through 2028 as part of his package, and he's playing for the Yankees.
Quite a package it is.
Quite a package, but and they're still good. But he's their third highest.
Why is Braun still getting that much money? That seems a little high.
Because they deferred it and kicked the can down the road, and it's good for the player for tax reasons, not to get it all in. It's to spread it out. It makes sense. Ohtani's grandkids are going to be making money from the Dodgers.
Man.
Schilling and Johnson are probably just coming off the Diamondbacks payroll from the 2001 World Series that era, right? So this happens all the time. Are the Bucks still paying? People bitch about the Bucks like, oh, they were paying Adrian Griffin and Mike Budenholzer and Doc Rivers.
Yeah,
they're paying a lot on coaches, but are they still? I think they might still be paying Larry Sanders. He might have finally come off the books, right? Like the Larry Sanders thing was
Colonel Sanders.
Yeah,
yeah. No.
So yeah, Bobby Bonilla Day. That's a big deal, and it's almost become like the Mount Rushmore argument, where it's just trite to talk about it today. Right. It was a big thing a couple of years ago. Hey, happy Bobby Bonilla Day.
If you're Bobby Bonilla, it's a really big thing.
But yeah,
go to that mailbox.
Oh, no
doubt.
No doubt. But Donovan Jorgensen Heating, Cooling, you're going to see their trucks around too. Hit them up because HVAC, man. If your air conditioning goes out, you're screwed.
You need that this week. There's no question.
Put a slushy in your pants.
Yeah.
Be a hot week.
I'm sure that's one of the things that the Europeans that are visiting for the World Cup are digging, because it's hot in Europe too. Sure. It doesn't get as hot as we get here.
Yeah, they don't have the heat we do, but they don't. AC is not standard in Europe, but they don't have the heat we do, right? Especially in Northern Europe.
But it's still hot.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's still summertime. It's still warm. Yeah.
They still lose people during hot season. People die, and when it gets to be 100 and with no air conditioning in Germany and Italy.
Maybe they'll notice that our women shave and take that hobby home with them.
and you get ice and drinks. Like, you have to really ask for ice in Europe.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
If you get it, it's just not a thing there. If you get like, remember Giannis's favorite drink was the half lemonade, half Sprite, no ice.
Yep.
Because that's just like, the Italian soda almost.
That's the way they do it.
No ice. It doesn't matter if their drinks are cold. It's like they'll give you a side eye if you ask for some ice there.
Armen, do you still have the guy talking about Texas Roadhouse? I want to play that for Dobie.
Let me check it. Let me see. Let me do some work to find
it. It's somewhere deep in the DMs. Okay, but if you can find that, let me know when you got it, because that was. It's been fun. Like I think the World Cup is the greatest worldwide sporting event. Others would say Ryder Cup or Olympics. I like it more. I like it. It's every 4 years, and it's like it's
special because if it was every year, it wouldn't.
Yeah, but it's every 4 years, and it's like the game to watching. Just the way people embrace it, and the way the world comes together, and everybody's focused on it. It's huge.
I agree. It is huge.
I think you can say, well, the Super Bowl is kind of a worldwide event because it's broadcast all over the world, but this is like the whole world is into this. Like, even Germany's out, but they're still watching to see what happens. Like, it's sure. I don't know. There's something about it. It's just it's special, and the fact that U.S. has never won it and we're hosting it this year, it's like I'm pro World Cup every 4 years. Do I watch a lot of soccer? Some, not a lot. I don't think it's a garbage sport like a lot of people here do. Like, have that snobbish football. A bunch of guys diving. It
was a blowout, 2-0.
Yeah, I'm not anti-soccer as many are. I appreciate the beautiful game, if you will, but watching these Euros come here and watching people come here and have a good time, and it's like a nice, like, it's holding up a mirror, and like they appreciating things about our country that we take for granted. And this guy from Australia is he's my superhero of the summer. Shout out Current Electric. But Armen, hit it so Dobie can hear this guy.
Yeah, I don't normally go to fancy restaurants, but like, I'm in America with my son, so I'm like, let's go to Texas Roadhouse. It's unbelievable. First of all, they give you these peanuts. You can eat as many as you want. She's like, yeah, just take a bag. Then they come out and they put this bread on the table, and I'm like, oh, I didn't order the bread. It's like, oh, that's free. And it's like, and she goes, and if you want more bread, we'll just give you more. And this bread it's as nice as bread can possibly be. Like, if you're an Australian, try and picture the most unbelievable bread. Like Subway bread. Got this fancy butter. Then they give you the Coke. Of course, it's America, so it's unlimited refill. And then it was all like ribs and steak and chips. There was an onion that had been deep fried, and you dip it in the sauce. You just leave there so happy. And then Australians are all like, yeah, but in America, you've got to tip. No, you don't have to tip. You want to tip. These people are the most wonderful people in the world. I don't even know why you Americans are so angry all the time. You guys have Texas Roadhouse in your country. You should just be walking around wanting to hug everybody.
There's my hero right there.
I'm surprised he didn't go to Outback.
Exactly.
That's the funny thing.
And the funny thing of the Bloomin' Onion started at Outback, and it's supposed to be an Australian thing. And this guy's like, they got this like onion that's fried and you dip it in the sauce. Never heard of it before, but it's amazing. But that guy and his attitude cracks me up. Yeah. And it's like, and you can be a cynic right away. It's like, I don't usually go to fancy restaurants, but I went to Texas Roadhouse. Like, that's not a fancy restaurant.
Fancy restaurant.
Not our.
Well, it's like Giannis, when Giannis talked about Oreos. Remember that when you got here?
Thing. An Oreo, just a regular Oreo.
Big thing.
And then he learned to dunk them in milk.
Yeah.
There's video that was circulating again of Giannis having his first bratwurst like 10 years after he got to Milwaukee. He'd never had a brat before.
It really is truly that comparison is the thief of joy. Because when you realize you have all these other things or have things to enjoy it, you can take it for granted, right? But when you don't have it and you haven't had it, it can seem like an amazing thing. Like someone's like, I'm going to come all the way to the U.S. to try out Texas Roadhouse. And you're like, really? Like, hey, that's what we do. Just like Americans get excited probably to go have, pasta in Italy. And the Italians are probably like, this is what we eat every day. Is cacio e pepe, big deal. So comparison is the thief of joy.
There's a book that came out in the late 90s by this guy, Joe Queenan, who's a good writer and stuff. Yeah, Joe Queenan, funny writer. He wrote a book. It was called Red Lobster, White Trash, and the Blue Lagoon. And he's kind of like a East Coast elite kind of guy, writer and stuff. And he wrote this book about diving into stuff that he normally wouldn't dive into. Like he's hard to describe, but he went to like Olive Garden and he went to Red Lobster to see what it was like. And he went and saw a trash movie. Like, it was kind of like him being a tourist in his own country.
Sure.
And doing stuff that he would normally not do. Mm-hmm. And it was pretty funny. It was a funny book. And like we always joke when they do the polling and stuff, like Shepherd Express poll or Milwaukee Magazine poll, and it's like, what's your favorite Italian restaurant in the city? And like Olive Garden wins. Like,
yeah.
But if you've never been to an Olive Garden,
right?
Like
pretty good.
It'd be pretty good.
Salad and breadsticks.
Breadsticks unlimited.
Unlimited.
But it's just it's a very comedic book. I might have to go back and reread that and see how it's held up since in the last 30 years or whatever.
I bet it's still funny.
But Dobe, like, what's our favorite thing to do? Is like go to the Sizzler or Ponderosa.
Yeah. All you can mall.
Is it fine cuisine? No, but Dobe and I have had some of our best days going to buffets.
So fun.
The bad buffet chain restaurants.
Yep.
Right.
I mean, it's like, when we went to New Orleans for the Super Bowl, Drew, I mean, that was my really first taste of New Orleans. I'd never been there. The closest thing I had been to, New Orleans cooking was the bourbon chicken at Southridge Mall at the Big Easy, whatever it was. So it's one of those things. You just don't, like, oh, this is awesome.
This guy just spent a year going to stuff like, back then he was like, he went to Branson.
Sure. Okay,
which, most of our political punditry and most of the people would never go to, like, what is there here? What do people like? Or it's like going to the Dells, right? As just kind of an observer.
Sure.
Like, okay. And like finding out go do what people do. It's a fascinating book, but it's kind of what we're into here. And that's what we're seeing that through the lens of people visiting our country, and they were told, oh, you better watch out. And they're told about crime. And the people who went to New York for the games in Jersey, like, New York's an amazing city. Yeah. You've been there. It's incredible.
It is incredible.
And it's safe and people.
Well, plus if they're from somewhere else, something from their country is in New York somewhere.
Yeah,
that's exactly. The thing. The little piece of the culture is already there.
That's true. Yeah. And so it's like, that's part of the World Cup, part of the allure of the World Cup. And, I didn't pay that much attention when it was in Qatar or whatever. I didn't I didn't hear a lot of stories of people having
the Qatar steakhouse.
There. Yeah. Steakhouse. But
house.
But every once in a while, man, get outside your comfort zone, do something different.
Mm-hmm.
If you live if Texas Roadhouse is a big night, save up your shekels and go to one of the best restaurants in the city and see what it's like. Go to Carnivore.
We all have a month's
pay and go to Carnivore.
A limited amount of birthdays. Make it count between the birthdays.
Exactly. And we always say, do what you like, but don't frown on what other people like.
Well, I had a buddy that liked robbing banks, so that's not everything. There is an asterisk.
There is an asterisk there. That's true. All right. When we come back, we'll close up shop. We will have our Wake and Bake story brought to us by happyplacehemp.com. And we'll continue to spin through some of your hot takes. You got one last segment to squeeze in some hot takes. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about the party and Armen's level of FOMO and perhaps your wife Lara's level of FOMO not being at Madison Square Garden for what looks like it's the wedding of the millennium.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a tough one to get to, but it looks like it will be.
Tough to get within 6 blocks of it, apparently.
Right.
But
tougher ticket than the Knicks finals.
Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce
Who are in
over.
with the bridal party and all that stuff? Anybody
Great
don't
question.
know.
Great
question.
Nobody knows.
And no cameras allowed. But that's gonna be,
that stinks.
Good Morning America right now. The headline, the graphic, tying the knot. Taylor's version, setting a new standard for weddings from now on.
I've never been invited to a wedding where I have had to sign an NDA.
Yeah,
maybe that would be it.
And put your phone in a Ziploc bag. That'll open when you leave. Yeah, classic. All right, we'll be back to close up shop. Our Wake and Bake story brought to us by HappyPlaceHemp.com is next. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Oh, man. Time flies when you're having a good time, as we do every day here in the Huddle. Glad you're hanging out with us. 5 o'clock club members, those who join us 6, 7. Dobie Maxwell sitting in for Billy today, along with me, Drew, and Armen. Time for our Wake and Bake story of the day, brought to us by HappyPlaceHemp.com. Go to HappyPlaceHemp.com, fill your cart, use the code Huddle. You'll get 25% off everything you buy and free shipping. You're not going to beat that deal. They ship quickly. Check out their CBD products, the best you're going to find anywhere. They can use them as a sleep aid. You can use some of the muscle creams if you've got aching knees or back or something. You're not going to find anything better. Pet products. Check it all out at HappyPlaceHemp.com. Again, code Huddle for 25% off and free shipping. Today, I had one holstered up, but I'm going to shelve that because it's kind of timeless.
Audible?
And I'm calling an audible because of what we were talking about with Sean Eichhurst and people's rush to judgment and people's, the national pastime we always say on our program is not football, basketball, boxing, horse racing. It's bitching and moaning about stuff, complaining on social media about everything.
Yeah.
Like, the Brewers won, but Yelich was 0 for 4. They got to get him out of the leadoff spot. He's killing him. Okay. Yesterday, we love the this date in history thing. Yesterday, June 30th, this date in history. Yesterday was the anniversary of Albert Einstein publishing his theory of relativity, which
was it
at the time was panned by critics.
Hot take artists, yes. What is this guy talking about?
It was dismissed and it was rejected on ideological, anti-Semitic, and philosophical grounds. And
it's so funny. That is great. That is great.
It had early backlash to Einstein's theory of relativity. They were deeply uncomfortable with the abstract mathematical nature of relativity, preferring tangible mechanical models of the universe.
Now, how would Twitter have handled that back in
Oh, my God. Nikola Tesla, prominent thinker of the era, rejected the theory, arguing that it subverted the empirical scientific method by pushing ideas before properly testing them.
Well, I could see that being questioned.
20 years after, in Germany, there was the Anti-Einstein League. His theories were attacked as Jewish physics, a politically motivated movement designed to undermine established German classical physics.
Always with the hate.
In 1931, a group of prominent scientists published a manifesto against relativity. It was the 100 authors against Einstein, clinging to classical mechanics and arguing that the theory was fundamentally flawed. The Nobel Committee spent years poo-pooing the theory of relativity and the quantum clash. Today, that is the scientific standard for modeling the universe, successfully predicting massive phenomena like black holes and gravitational waves. Now, it's regarded as an incomplete model today still, but
imagine when the physicists get together and fight.
So Sean Eichhurst, Albert Einstein, you're in good company. People ripped Einstein's theory of relativity, the Greek chorus.
Sure.
So apparently the impulse has always been there.
It's
dump on something.
And 99.9% of us can't fathom to understand any of it anyway.
Exactly.
So it makes it easier for us to laugh at everybody.
Exactly. But that is our 420 or our 420 slash,
I can't understand the infield
Wake
fly
and Bake
rule, much less
Yeah.
that.
Right. What is a balk?
Yeah.
Let's start with that.
Yeah.
What's
When
a catch?
When we figure out what a catch and a balk
Yeah.
is.
That's our Wake and Bake story, though. Because yesterday was the anniversary in 1905 when Einstein published his paper, and it was met with
poo-pooed by the
critical
masses.
thumbs
Yeah,
down.
thumbs down. Unbelievable.
A lot of times geniuses aren't recognized in their own time, which is why Dobie's legacy,
No, Dobie will be. Dobie one day will be.
Well, when I get shot stopping a robbery, they'll say that guy owed me money. He owed me $50.
He owed me $50. All right, so what's on our plate tonight? We got the U.S. playing Bosnia.
Bosnia-Herzegovina, yes.
Yes, the hyphen.
And they are, yes. I wanted to make sure I got that right. And they are the headliner tonight, but there's 2 more matches ahead of them. It's England is playing Congo, and we have Belgium, and I'm blanking who Belgium is playing all of a sudden. I don't know why I am, but Belgium is going to do a hell of a job. Senegal. Belgium, Senegal. So 3 great knockout stage matches. England, a heavy favorite, -330 against the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Belgium is a slight dog in a 3-way, but they're a favorite to move through against Belgium. And USA is a pretty heavy favorite against Bosnia-Herzegovina. So we'll see if USA soccer can fulfill finally its legacy of expectations. Historically, that's not been what's happening, but now we're in the knockout round.
That's right.
And hopefully can make a somewhat deep run here. Let's see if USA can write a story, USA soccer.
We heard from Brewers pitcher Shane Drowan earlier, who Had an interview with Hunter Baumgart. He's pitching tonight as the Brewers try to win the 4-game series against the Reds. They're 2-0 so far. They've been stomping the Reds for the last 5 years. They've been just kicking sand in their faces. And then it would behoove the Brewers to win today because, well, tomorrow you got the pitching matchup of all pitching matchups. You got Chase Burns against Jacob Mizorowski.
Be a great matchup. You always like your chances when Miz is pitching, but Burns is really good.
Burns is really good. Burns is 9-1, 2.36 ERA and 112 strikeouts. The Miz is 9-3, a 1.45 ERA and 146 punch-outs. That's like the pitching matchup. That's like Skeen's Miz last summer.
Yeah, that was big.
And this edition will be, and it's a Thursday day game again. So
who'd have thunk the Brewers would have a pitcher like that? I mean, all the vintage of all the years, who was the best pitcher?
Incredible.
Not even close.
Right.
Yeah, he's putting up numbers that are
Love him.
just staggering.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's like we've never seen like as much as we loved Bill Travers and
Jim Slayton,
Jim Colburn.
All of them.
No. Ben Sheets, Giovanni Gallardo. Corbin Burns was a special pitcher.
Yeah, Higuera was pretty good.
Yeah.
Teddy Higuera was good. Corbin Burns won a Cy Young.
Oh,
Pete
he was great,
Vukovich
too.
won a Cy Young. But
Yeah.
man, what the Miz is doing, we've never seen before. So it's must-see TV when he pitches. So that'll be must-see TV tomorrow. But so it would behoove the Brewers get this one in the bank and then go for the sweep tomorrow. Sounds like a good recipe
Let's
for
do
me.
it.
And then people will complain about something that happened or the lineup or that's what they'll
My
do.
hot dog was cold.
Yeah. and on Thursday they cost $1.
Yeah.
So get a bunch. So go buy another one. All right. Thanks to Dobie for coming in.
Thank
Thanks
you,
to
guys.
Dolph. Thanks for hanging out with us. We will do it again tomorrow at 5 a.m. It's our last show of the week. So you better be here at 5 a.m. We'll see you tomorrow. As Billy would say, peace.